Hello everybody, how are y'all doing? Welcome back to City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. Finally, the season. This is the curtain riser for the season, I would say. I know it's a friendly, it's glorified friendly, whatever you want to call, but traditionally the Community Shield has been sort of a curtain riser to what is going to come next in the Premier League. And many Arsenal fans, I'm sure, would feel that if they had played City in the Community Shield, then maybe they could have got more confidence. But United, for me, have earned the right to play in this competition by winning the FA Cup. Unlike Arsenal last time, where where they just got in because they were second place. But but I think the problems of United are different than say if we were to face an Arsenal or stuff. And one thing for me is the most interesting thing for me is the lineup which United have put, not as much which City have put, but the lineup which United have put is something which is very interesting for me. That lineup is pretty strong. If I would not have told you it's a Community Shield, but it's a Premier League match, you all would have believed it because you because you actually look at the lineup which United have put out there: Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Kobe Mainu, Mason Mount, Casemiro, Lisandro Martinez, Diego Dalo. I think maybe I mean leave the goalkeeper, but in the front ten, I think if it was a regular Premier League match, I think seven of them would start. I would say maybe with the exception of Johnny Evans, if everybody is fit, and maybe Harry Maguire, you could argue. I think all of them start. If this was a Premier League match, I think all of them start. So so I mean this is actually very interesting. How strong Eric Ten Hag has actually gone with this with this lineup. To be honest. I mean, coming to the City lineup, it's another interesting thing because I mean he's gone strong with the defense. I mean, good. I probably was thinking Rico Lewis will start, but I was also maybe thinking Josh Wilson, Esbrand maybe could start, but Josh Wilson is brand. I think he was excellent offensively, but defensively you could see that there were flaws in Josh Wilson Brand's game. To be honest, so just a bit on Josh Wilson Brand before we move on. I think with Josh Wilson Brand, you get more of Angelino kind of vibes. I would say he's better than Angelino probably in terms of attacking wise. I mean, you probably think Josh Wilson Esbrand is more suited for a wing back position rather than a full back position. Pep could translate him into a winger if Pep stays here longer. So I think he's gone very strong with the defense. I didn't know Manuel Akanji would start. I thought he could rest him for a bit more, but he's gone very strong with the defense. I think if it's a Premier League match, you could maybe expect this kind of a defense there, with the exception of Rico Lewis and Kyle Walker, to be honest. So the midfield is where it gets really interesting. I think with the midfield, I mean this selection of midfield, it tells you that Calvin Phillips is now not considered for the midfield role. This selection of midfield by Pep Guardiola it just sends a message outright to someone like a Calvin Phillips, which tells that O'Reilly is now second in command to Rodri. Pep would be thinking Calvin Phillips is not even considered for the midfield role now. I think he is considered more for the centre back role. Interesting to see if Pep will bring on Calvin Phillips at halftime or 60 minutes or whenever the managers make changes. So O'Reilly for me has been one of the standout players in the preseason. I think I mean he's a physical beast. He's tall. He's technically very good on the ball. He can play in tight spaces because he's an attacking midfielder. Pepper's converted him into a box to box. And the interesting thing about O'Reilly for me is, like Peter Dury famously said in that Aston Villa City game on the final day, Gundogan has some mischief to his game. I see Rico Lewis has some mischief in his game. He makes those late runs into the box. late runs into the box. He arrives late. His finishing is very very good. So Nico O'Reilly, I think is will be. I hope he develops uh, in as a second coming of. I wouldn't say Rodri. They're a bit kind of difficult, but maybe someone like an Yaya Toure kind of a player. Nico O'Reilly still cannot hold that midfield on his own. He is not a Rodri replacement in any way. He could be a Gundogan replacement if I could tell you that. And then James McAtee. James McAtee is another one who's just impressed Pep Guardiola with his movement in spaces. Again, someone he is one of the most technically. We say about James McAtee that is technically far superior than someone like a Cole Palmer. Technically, this is one of the best that they've seen from a long time come out of City's academy, James McAtee. So that is interesting with with respect to James McAtee. And Oscar Bob, Jeremy Doku. Oscar Bob for me has been the best player in preseason. So I mean, I do hope James McAtee and Oscar Bob get more minutes in this Premier League season. I would even start Oscar Bob maybe ahead of someone like a Savinho and even a Bernardo Silva probably at the start of this season and see where it goes. Just a bit about United, seen a lot of United fans and stuff moan about the injuries which United pick up, uh, everyone is always injured for United. I mean, some of my friends also have, who are United fans have always said that it's the players' mistake that they always stay injured and stuff. Then why the hell is the manager there? Well, if the players can self-manage themselves, why the hell is the manager there? You can see with how strong of a team. I'm not moaning about it. You compete with whatever is in front of you. Not moaning about the strength of the United team, but to just to tell a bit to the United fans who think the players' mistake that they're getting injured. It's the manager's mistake. You see, Kobe Maino is returned 4 days back from training and is already starting. Same with someone like Bruno Fernandes, Lisandro Martinez. United are staring down the barrel with a defensive crisis. If you ask me, come December, January, due to things like this. Bhaiya JC, Arey Bhaiya ji, good to see you again after that historic four-peat. The match has started after that historic four-peat. Good to see you again at the curtain riser. Is Grealish injured again? Come on, City. Pepe's praised Grealish a lot. He's not injured by Aji. Pepe's praised Grealish absolutely a lot. Telling that he's impressed by his commitment in training and stuff. I don't know why Pepe's actually, sorry, Grealish is actually not there in the substitutes as well. I have no idea why he's not there. No news around him. But honestly, I think just looking around with the noises coming, I mean, within the club and around the club, most of the people close to the club think that Pep is gonna play Doku, Savio, that kind of a system which dates back to your Leroy Sané, Raheem Sterling, those kind of a system with Erling Haaland up front. That is what Pep is looking towards. So when Pep is looking towards that, I don't know how he plays Grealish. Probably then it depends upon match by match. I just do not know. But let me know, guys, in the comments, what did you think of the Alvarez signing? We sold Alvarez for what? Close to 95 million pounds. And you see someone like a Dominic Solanke going for just 65 million pounds. And everyone's moaning that City have sold their second bench, their bench striker for the money which a lot of the other teams would not be able to even sell their first team striker for. I don't think, except Erling Haaland, and maybe a Ole Watkins. I don't know. I don't think any other first team striker in the Premier League goes for what Alvarez went. Don't think any other first team striker fetches you 90 million pounds. It was bloody satisfying to see opposition fans moaning. City are trying to press and United are trying to play out from the back. I'll keep a close eye on Mark O'Reilly. Sorry, Nico O'Reilly. Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis. I just think Rico Lewis needs to be very careful about Marcus Rashford. Rico Lewis is not a Kyle Walker and he does not have the pace of Marcus Rashford. But for me, another interesting, very interesting selection here from Pep Guardiola is Issa Kabore in the substitutes. Issa Kabore in the substitutes. Bayaji is excited about Bob. He's ready for the 11. Bayaji is absolutely ready for the 11. I think I would start him ahead of Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish, and Savio as well on that right hand side. Very excited. I mean, the preseason matches, the way he was lobbing those crosses for Erling Haaland, the way I mean, the close control of Oscar Bob reminds you of David Silva's close control. Dare I say, but it reminds me of Messi's close control as well. The match is being played in the United half, with United struggling to play out from the back. The goalkeeper looking for a ball over the top, and Rico Lewis rescuing it. But Issa Kabore is an interesting one, Bayaji. I don't know what you think of him, but I think that is Issa Kabore could be the reason why we sold Jan Koto. Because I didn't know, we didn't have a right back. Rico Lewis, you don't start him at right back in many Premier League games. That is not strong, powerful. He's more of a midfield kind of a player. Rico Lewis himself told that I'm a midfield kind of a player more than a right back in a recent interview. But Isaka Bore, Luton Town, strong, powerful, very good, very explosive pace, very good tackler of the ball, physical specimen, has much better crossing than Kyle Walker. Isaka Bore is a very interesting one for me. He's just dropped into Pep substitutes bench from nothing. I mean, Pep just doesn't hand out substitute bench places as well. We know even in friendlies. And Pepsi's Community Shield as a far better tournament than a friendly. So Isakabor is interesting for me. Bayaji says about Alvarez price. If it were other way around, Atletico would have demanded around 100 million. 100 million is, I mean, 120. 120 Bayaji, 120. 120 is what Atletico Madrid would have demanded. That's what was the noise when Alvarez to Atletico Madrid was actually, going on. A lot of people in the social media were telling it was 60 million first, and a lot of people in the social media were telling, well, if it was the other way around, Atletico would have demanded 100, 120. Why should we sell him for 60? So, Bayaji is absolutely right. Atletico would have demanded 120. I mean, how far we have come if you look at this transfer deal. 2011, I mean 2010 sort of, we bought Sergio Aguero. 2011 we bought Sergio Aguero from Atletico, and now in 2024 we are selling Atletico probably the next Sergio Aguero, if I could tell you, for 100 million. So that is how far this club has come, and hope, sad to see Alvarez go, but the places we have come as a club. 110 million pounds this season's net spend, minus 110 million pounds. 110 million pounds of pure profit from this season's net spend. Excellent from City. JSK is here. Hey JSK, how are you doing? Welcome back after summer break. JSK says, don't you remember I predicted Alvarez will move on and Haaland will stay permanently? True, JSK. I thought in a different way. I thought Haaland is the sort of player who would want to play in for all of the Europe's top five leagues. So 3-4 years at a club and move on. And Alvarez is sort of will stay for the long term. I think people at the club also felt it that way. I think JSK, honestly, because uh, we have tied him down to 8-year contract. I think, right? His contract is till 2030 or something like that. 6-7 year contract. Jeremy Doku with the ball. City attacking for the first time. Jeremy Doku trying to get in, but good defending, very good defending there from Diego Dalot. Rico Lewis gets the ball back, and a miss pass there. Two players not on the same wavelength. You can see a little bit of rustiness with Jeremy Doku in there. City have not exactly clicked into gear, if you would ask me. City are slowly getting back in, but yeah, 2028 on it. That's what JSK, it was a lengthy contract, he said. So all of those indications was he would move, Haaland would move on and he would be the striker. But one thing with Alvarez going is we will now not get to see Julian Alvarez playing in the midfield against Chelsea this time around. Oscar Bob, I don't know why Erling Haaland didn't hit it. Don't know why Erling Haaland didn't hit it and made a pass. That was an excellent action there by Oscar Bob. JSK says, and this window is literally dog shit. But JSK, slowly but steadily, Rashford is in, Rashford is in. Is it offside? Yeah, the ball's gone out. But slowly but steadily, JSK, just like water trickling, little bit of water trickling, and it fills a bucket. We have sold players worth 110 million pounds. Liam Delap 20, Taylor Harvard Bell is 20, Jan Kuto 30 with an obligation to buy that is 70 million. So we have made Tommy Doyle. I think went for 6 or 7 million pounds to Wolves, where they have made it permanent. Micah Hamilton has joined Middlesbrough, I think, with on a permanent deal, undisclosed fee. So we have got a lot of money, 120 million pounds. JSK is most disappointing is not selling Edison, not getting a right back. JSK just at the substitutes bench. There is a right back. There is a right back in there. He has played for Luton Town last season. He has played all the matches for Luton Town last season. He is explosive, physical, very hard tackler. He is everything you would associate with a Kyle Walker, to be honest. Issa Kabore. JSK just checked. Issa Kabore is on substitutes bench. I just saw the substitutes bench and I was shocked, to be to be honest. Issa Kabore. He's the right back. Maybe I think he is in Pep's plans. That's why we sold Jan Kuto to Dortmund. Oscar Bob taking the corner. Oscar Bob is learning all of City's, discipline and stuff. He's taking shit corners. It's a free kick for City. Bayaji says, what about Rodri backup? that is $1 million question, Bayaji. Rodri backup. O'Reilly is not a Rodri backup. Who is the Rodri backup? No, JSK, no. Nico O'Reilly is not a Rodri backup. Nico O'Reilly is an attacking midfielder converted to a box-to-box midfielder. Nico O'Reilly can't hold the midfield on his own. No, no, no. Nico O'Reilly is not a CDM. Nico O'Reilly is at best a box-to-box midfielder. Susoho was there, but I thought he would be the understudy to Rodri, but he was. I think he's been sent on loan. Yes, he's been sent on loan to Middlesbrough or some club. So, I'm counting on. I don't think Kovacic can hold the midfield on his own as well. There could be two scenarios possible here. Bayaji says Nico too young and Kova below par, and Nico is. I think Nico can not be a CD. He could not. He cannot be the answer to that Rodri thing. There could be two scenarios here, Bayaji. I actually think since Calvin Phillips, by the way, Calvin Phillips at centre back was very good. His passing range was excellent. First scenario is Calvin Phillips centre back and John Stones could be the understudy to Rodri. John Stones could play there whenever Rodri is not there. So that is an option. And the second option is we are all discounting Matthews Nunez. Matthews Nunez at Sporting Lisbon, even at Wolves, he would hold the midfield many times on his own. Matthews Nunez is fast, quick across the pitch. I think Nunez could be a perfect understudy to Rodri. Nico O'Reilly, cross floated in, but Josko Guardiol, the match has not actually kicked off as much. It's been a very, very slow start. Who would you suggest? Who would you suggest, guys? Who would you suggest, guys, as a backup to Rodri? Because Zubimendi is gone. That is excellent from Oscar Bob. This is wonderful from Oscar Bob, the close control. They're just not able to make the. Nico O'Reilly has done very well to get the ball there. And Bruno Fernandes is trying to press Kovacic, which even the god of football cannot do. Pressing Kovacic is impossible. Pressing Matthew Kovacic is like developing an Amazon rainforest and Saudi desert. Not gonna happen. Not a good cross. Not a good cross. James McAtee has to improve on that. Not at all a good cross there from James McAtee. I mean, what are the options there for a Rodri backup? Kimmich has told that he will stay at Bayern, but just look at the footwork of Oscar Bob there. His close control. This is just excellent there from Oscar Bob. Wow. Just look at the close control. Guys, it just reminds me of the close control of David Silva and dare I say Messi. That close control from Oscar Bob is just amazing. What a close control there from Bob. This guy is going to be a superstar, and his potential, honestly, for me, is far, far greater than Cole Palmer. And I'm not telling it out of, jealousy or something like that. I'm happy for Cole that he's gone to a rival, to a Premier League club, and he's been able to make a name for himself. But Oscar Bob is just something else. From a stand, Gary Neville famously said that he's not scared of fast-paced wingers, but who he's scared of is wingers who from a standing still position can go and accelerate, can go and dribble past you, and that is a rare quality. Doku has it, Oscar Bob has it, and Oscar Bob does it much, much better than Doku. The defender has just held off Erling Haaland there. It has to be a yellow card for the defender. I think Harry Maguire is actually down. JSK says we should have gone for Douglas Lewis. Women team would have been benefited too if we bought him. JSK, the problem is, I mean, you tried to give me a solution, but I've just not been able to, get my head around it. But you bring in Douglas Lewis. Douglas Lewis for me is in the top three DMs in the Premier League last season. You have Rodri. I don't consider Declan Rice as a DM. He is a box to box player. Is much better. We'll get into that. But Rodri, Douglas Lewis, both of them were in the top three DMs. And if you bring Douglas Lewis to City, why would a top three DM and a top 5, top 6 DM in world football be happy to sit as a sit as an understudy to Rodri? Because Douglas Lewis is developed. So that is the problem. That is the problem. So you need to bring in a player who will develop under Rodri, who's not yet ready to, make the first team consistently, but who will be able to make the first team consistently in 1 or 2 months, but who is, sorry, in 1 or 2 years, but who is good enough to to be an understudy when Rodri is injured. That is very difficult to find. That is extremely difficult to find that combination, if you can understand what I've told. JSK says get a CDM from La Masia. Those kids are a level above too. That is there, JSK, that is there. But the problem with that is the kid will develop for 1 or 2 seasons just like Ferran Torres did, and he'll run away to La Masia. So it will almost be like we have given the kid everything to grow up, and then he goes on and wipes the ass of Barcelona. Just like what happened to Eric Garcia. Eric Garcia, Pep Guardiola has even given captaincy to Eric Garcia at 19 years of age, and in one of the Community Shield matches at City, and in one of the FA Cup or Carabao Cup matches at City. And what did Eric Garcia do? He's gone and wiped the ass of Barcelona, and they've wiped their ass with him, and they've just thrown him away, and he's gone to Girona. I just do not want to have any more dealings with Barcelona. Those idiots have not even paid us for Ferran Torres, and now they want us to sign Frankie De Jong and pay his differential wages. Why will we do that? Barcelona is a complete mess, man. Just do not want any dealings with him. I just get so angry. Not received for Ferran Torres, money for Ferran Torres. Joao Cancelo, they're telling nothing. And now they want us to pay the differential wages of Frankie de Jong and sign him in exchange for Joao Cancelo. Bayaji says, your views on Bayern season under Company. Interestingly, Bayaji, that's a very good question. Interestingly, a lot of Bayern players after a long time. That is an excellent take on by Jeremy Doku and his throw here. Jeremy Doku enters the box. And that is wonderful there from Jeremy Doku. The cross is just behind. Cross is just behind Haaland there. Nico O'Reilly there, I think. But just look at the runs Nico O'Reilly is making into the box. This is just excellent. This is wonderful from Nico O'Reilly. Oscar Bob, Nico O'Reilly again. Can he find a cross into the box? Mateo Kovacic, City have upped the tempo. The last few minutes have been boring, but now City have upped the tempo. That Jeremy Doku sticking on players like they don't exist. Doku there to Josko Guardiol. Ruben Diaz. Guardiol gets the ball back. Mateo Kovacic just pass it to Oscar Bob. Yes, Oscar Bob has got on the ball. Oscar Bob Akanji to Oscar Bob. That was a bad ball from Manuel Akanji. So interestingly, Bayaji, a lot of press and a lot of players around Bayern Munich are actually very happy with the training methods of Vincent Company. They've said after quite a while they're seeing something inventive, something innovative after Pep left at Bayern. Company is trying to do something. He's trying to get them play his particular brand of football. So that's interesting. I mean, if Company can do well, 2 3 years, I don't think any manager can stay for more than 2 3 years at Bayern because of the politics and everything involved. So after that, I think we can get him at City. That would just be perfect for everyone. Literally, that would be perfect for everyone. Vincent Company, a legend, coming back to us. But I'll keep a keen eye on Bayern season. JS says Eric Garcia was bang average, but we gave him everything and he just asked out and left for Barcelona. JS, that's what I was very unhappy about. We nourish him, and then he wants to reap the fruits of the labor in someone else's backyard. That is just I just didn't like it. What Ferran Torres did and what Eric Garcia did. Ferran Torres even made a comment that City was just a stepping stone to Barcelona, and the stepping stone was Europa League. That's what I think Ferran Torres has realized after all this while, to be honest. Bayaji says Garcia the snake. Exactly, perfect Bayaji. Garcia the snake. Just before CL knockout game. Don't want any young Spanish or German player after burning Sane, Garcia, Torres episodes. Exactly, Bayaji. You just put it perfectly. Rico Lewis on the ball. O'Reilly, Mateo Kovacic. It's good that this midfield of McAtee, O'Reilly, and Bob is actually holding up against this United team. Rico Lewis. Erling Haaland should have passed it back to Jeremy Doku, if you ask me. That was excellent play. Just look at the way Rico Lewis is driving into the box. I sometimes think Rico Lewis is the. Just look at the run which Rico Lewis has made, guys, into the box. I just think that Rico Lewis is the natural Gundogan replacement. JSK says Joao Cancelo needs to be sold at all costs. Some idiots will defend that guy. There was this team photo. There was this team photo JSK which has come out 3 days back when a lot of first team stars like Diaz, Bernardo Silva returned to training. Everyone in that photo, there were 5 people, Diaz and there were a few others, were smiling. Joao Cancelo had a grim expression on his face. To seeing that photo, I was like, just get this guy. Oscar Bob. That had to be 1-0. Just look at the dribble of Oscar Bob, guys, there. Wow, just look at what this guy is doing there. Oscar Bob, just look at the way he's just dribbling past players there. Wow. Oscar Bob, you beauty. What a dribble that was. Wow. Start Oscar Bob ahead of whoever is there. Wow, Oscar Bob. This is beautiful from Oscar Bob. Baiji says that Doku Bagel clip going viral. That is true. That is true. And also the Oscar Bob kit, this thing also going viral. Baiji, the second kit, he's revealed it before the release on Instagram. that I thought was funny as well. Kovacic does extremely well. Nico Riley. The pass to Erling Haaland was not good. Maybe you needed someone like Kevin De Bruyne or even James McAtee to complete that pass, to be honest. JSK says Rodrigo is Spanish as well, Bayaji. Rodrigo is Spanish, but there's a difference. There's a difference, JSK, between Spanish players who come from Atletico Madrid. I mean, not a lot of them come from Real Madrid, so I cannot comment on that. But a lot of Spanish players who come from Atletico Madrid, what I've noticed is that they're very loyal. I think it could be the philosophy at the club or whatever it is, right from your Sergio Aguero to now Rodri to 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 whoever you see, the players from Atletico Madrid who have come into the Premier League, Radamel Falcao to an extent. So they're very loyal. I don't know why. What's the difference? But players who come from La Masia or even Barcelona, they just always wiping their asses. Hit the bar! Hit the bar! How many times will we hit the bar? Kovacic does extremely well. Hit the bar. Hit the bar, guys. Jeremy Doku. City is just turning the screw on United here. This is wonderful from City. Akanji is just passing like a dream from the back. Oscar Bob, just look at the maturity of Oscar Bob here in the balls that he's playing. To be honest, uh, Manuel Akanji just loving the game, guys. Just was purely bored during the Euros and also the preseason to an extent. But Jeremy Doku, that's not a penalty when he's not arguing in there. Bayern says yes, but overall experience has been bad. The Spanish players' experience has been bad, but with Atletico Madrid specifically, I think our experience has been very, very good. James McAtee with an excellent shot. Just unlucky there, James McAtee. Otherwise, would have been celebrating a goal against United. The keeper was beaten inside of the post as well. How unlucky it can be. I just want James McAtee to score a goal. He's just so underrated. The talk is about Oscar Bob, O'Reilly, rightly so, but James McAtee is just something else, if you ask me. Bayaji says, despite Pep being Spanish, those ungrateful sobs left at the opportunity. Brahim Diaz too. Brahim Diaz left for AC Milan, and then I think the case with Brahim Diaz, Bayaji is just a little bit different. I think Brahim Diaz was honestly, I thought there was no first team path for Brahim Diaz. And Brahim Diaz did not moan. I think it's City who sold him to AC Milan and then Real Madrid, or he was loaned from Madrid to AC Milan and back to Real Madrid. I don't know how it went, but yeah, with Brahim Diaz, it's a little bit. But the others, like you said, everyone, most of the Spanish players except the ones who come from Atletico Madrid. Bayaji says Bob gliding through United fullback like a well, and he's actually glided through thrice, Bayaji, not once, not twice, but thrice. Even against Barcelona as well in the preseason, he was like very, very good. Against Chelsea, Bob was very, very good. I mean, that close control by Aji, honestly, whom does it remind you of the close control of Oscar Bob? I mean, I think it is close to David Silva and Messi. Josko Guardiola putting on putting on his burners and getting to the ball. That the defense pick from Pep Guardiola is superb today. Guardiola, Diaz, Akanji, which means that the youth who are inexperienced in playing forward in the midfield can just do whatever they like, because at the back you probably have three of the top 10 defenders in the world. I would say in Guardiola, Kenji and Diaz, the three of the top 10 defenders in the world. They're that good. JSK says Jack Grealish also. This MF needs to go to. That's a dangerous attack by United. I mean, regardless of whatever happens in this match, I mean, I'm really impressed by the way Rico Lewis is making those runs into the box. O'Reilly is taking the ball off the feet of the United players. Oscar Bob is just doing superb. By just his effing goal post. Great shot from James McAtee. It's just that it did not mean to go there. What a moment that would have been for McAtee, scoring against dark rivals for a boy who's just grown up at the City Academy. JSK says, also we have not gone for Conor Gallagher. I think Chelsea were refusing to sell to a Premier League rival. That's why I think because Conor Gallagher would have been that pressing machine. I think Conor Gallagher in a way would have been perfect for City, box to box player, very industrious, hard working. Nico O'Reilly, should have released Bob there. Pep will not be pleased with it. Arush is here. Hey Arush, how are you doing? And what do you feel about this transfer window, Arush? Just like Bayajan JSK mentioned, it's not been an exciting transfer window. It's been dog shit. Need to be careful with Ahmad Diallo. He hits that far post shot really very well. But our defense has been superb. I know he's gone past Josko Guardial, but that's good skill from Ahmad Diallo to be honest. Aru says, how do you feel about Alvarez situation? I mean, a lot of rivals are moaning that even a lot of first team strikers cannot be sold in the Premier League, cannot be sold for that amount. I actually think there was no way Alvarez was consistently getting minutes and is already 24, which is when, specifically for strikers, 24-25 is when you would want to play in those big games because that is how you gain that experience, right? So I think there was no clear pathway for Alvarez into the team. Midfield is not what Alvarez was meant for. Alvarez last season was one of the Pep gave him one of the highest minutes in fantasy Premier League, for example, is one of the highest scoring City players. He is in the top three, top four highest minutes Pep has given him. But he wanted to play in that striker position, and there was no way he would play there. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. If you ask me about the Alvarez situation, honestly, I think if I just keep emotions a little bit aside and think of the career of Alvarez, I think we could never have given him that preferred position ahead of Haaland. He would just rot in that midfield. It would be a waste of that talent which Alvarez possesses. I honestly think he's in the top five strikers in the world. He's better than someone like Lautaro Martinez. I think he's that good. His finishing is equal to Erling Haaland, if not better. So I think it's good for both the parties. It will be interesting to see how we reinvest that amount for me. Who do you want to reinvest that amount on, Arush? That's the thing. That's the big question. Bayaji says, was Edison chosen over Ortega to get him match fit for Chelsea? I think so. I think so. I think so. I think so, Bayaji. That is the thing. Or maybe they'll play half half. I personally think they'll play half half. Ortega plays half and Edison plays half. I think that's what they have actually done in all of the practice matches, and they'll do the same. I think they'll play half of that. That's a great run by Rashford. Can anyone find him? I'm at Diallo there. Yosko Guardiol. Yosko. Ah, that was overhead pass, but that was good play from United, to be honest. So I think at half time Pep will make a host of changes. That's the expectation here by Ajay and Ortega will come on. I think. Jessica says also Rico Lewis needs to get muscles. So even Yamal, who's 3 years younger, got his muscles. Jessica, I honestly think Rico Lewis is a David Silva kind of a player. There's this very interesting story when Roberto Mancini wanted David Silva, and he told that I want David Silva around about in 2010, I think that season. Everyone around him told the transfer department, the transfer director, and coaches, his assistant coaches told him, such a skinny guy will not survive in the Premier League. He does not have muscles, he does not have the physicality and stuff. But Mancini said, I know what he can do, just buy him, just get him. And no one believed. There were pundits, who were telling when we signed David Silva that he would be a flop in the Premier League. and he's gone down in the history as the top two, top three Premier midfield best midfielders ever to have played the Premier League. David Silva. So I actually think Rico Lewis needs to get muscles if he wants to play as a right back. If you ask me, but Rico Lewis himself said that my preferred position is in the midfield. So so I think to play in the midfield, I do not think you need muscles, to be honest. But yeah, right. I think Rico Lewis can never become a good right back because it just ain't. His attributes are different. It's again a different thing if Pep wants to, play him inverted from full back to cutting inside. That's a different question. Aru says this transfer window is dull. Uh, is dull as fuck. I had so many hopes. Bruno, Jan Kuto, or Frimpong, Kimmich. I mean, with Bruno Guimaraes, Arush, I think we've talked about it in one of the streams as well. I think in the preseason matches, but that's a deflection. That's a deflection, and I think it's a head injury for Ruben Diaz. I think it's a head injury for Ruben Diaz. I think what a strike that was. Yeah, for Bruno Guimaraes, they wanted Oscar Bob plus 80 million pounds. They wanted 80 million plus Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob will be worth another 50, 60 million at the end of the season, just like Palmer was. Such is his talent. So, do you think that 140 million pounds is worth for Bruno Guimaraes? So Bruno Guimaraes was out of question, and then Jan Kuto is an interesting one. I thought he'll be given a chance. It's not even sent to preseason tour. But maybe I think Issa Kabore is there in the substitutes bench today. So maybe I think Pep thinks Issa Kabore is the right profile of a player to come in. And also I think there are striking similarities between Jan Kuto and Rico Lewis. Another question is, did Pep Guardiola think Rico Lewis development will be hindered if Jan Kuto actually comes to City? So that's another question. So that's why we sold him to Dortmund. And Jan Kuto is not the profile of a player who would you would look to replace Walker with. Issa Kabore is the one, to be honest. Jeremy Frimpong, I always thought we were looking for a physically, defensively very good fullback with a little bit of an attacking flair. So Frimpong was never in question for me. And Frimpong is very weak defensively. And Kimmich again, it depended on what Vincent Kompany would tell him. So I think honestly, most of those targets realistically it is not possible. But Bruno Guimaraes, I thought was the one which might happen because of his release clause and stuff. But then again, the asking amount from Newcastle was insane. So I'm happy. I'm happy with whatever has happened in this window. To be honest, Arush says, bro, do you remember that I told you like five United is on the attack? Yeah. Bro, do you remember that I told you like 5 months ago that he should go on loan so that he doesn't get under the shadow of Haaland? It happened. I think it was a chance. It was a chance for Rashford. Just look at what's happening on the right wing with Rico Lewis is struggling there. So right full back position with Rico Lewis is actually struggling there. To be honest, United are playing well, but then it's again City are just getting up to sharpness. If you would ask me that, and a lot of their first team players are playing. But again, I think Alvarez would never go on loan. I think Alvarez would always prefer a permanent move. Because for me, I think Alvarez comes across as a guy who, it's almost like Sergio, when Sergio Aguero is extremely confident, he was unbeatable, unplayable. For me, Alvarez looks to be the kind of striker who, if everything around him is settled, the environment around him, you know, is settled, he plays on a high level. So I think he's not the player who goes on a loan. He always is someone who I think prefers a permanent home. So Alvarez was never going to go on loan. I think such is honestly in the top five best strikers in the world. I think he would never go on loan. Bayo says when will annual Bernardo exit talk start? Already it is started and ended as well by Aji. You know what the talk is? The talk, at least on social media, is that Bernardo exit is just trash. It will never happen. So I mean, honestly, I think Barcelona do not have any bloody money. So that's why I think the talk hasn't picked up this season. And you know, a lot of Barcelona fans also they feel a lot entitled that Bernardo should come to us, Alvarez should come to us. What else will he do at City in the Premier League? Bernardo should come to us. They feel as if the players are entitled to come to their club. Okay, you have won a lot, but that was in the past. Football doesn't live in the past. You don't live in the past. All of us live in the present, and we plan for the future. Learn from the past. That's it. You don't cling on to it, but Barcelona fans always cling on to it, and that's what gets just get so angry with how entitled a few of Barcelona fans feel. To be honest. Honestly, the second half will be interesting. I know there's 6-7 minutes, but I think it's been half. That United fans will say Rashford chance. I would say McAtee hitting the post. Haaland just ball behind him. Oscar Bob, excellent cut inside. So I think we have had 3-4 very good chances. They have had one or two good chances. But incredibly proud of how we are playing. To be honest, against such a strong United team. For me, Akanji is getting grips too. This thing has not had preseason. Josko Guardiol has had a bit of preseason. Ruben Diaz is also getting grips. O'Reilly just tried to get past Casemiro. Casemiro using all his experience. Countania is here. Hey Countania, how you doing? He says, who do you want to sign a contract extension? Ortega or Edison? Both their contracts expire in 2026. Honestly, I think Countania, I want both of them to sign an extension. And I honestly think with Ortega and Edison, it should be done what Barcelona did with Claudio Bravo and Stefan Ortega. Sorry, and Ter Stegen. Uh, Jeremy Doku trying to cut inside. Matteo Kovacic, Jeremy Doku, and Jeremy Doku. Jeremy put a cross in. That is wonderful there. Kovacic again just a bit behind Jeremy Doku, but Doku does well to get the ball off. And the attack continues there, with City still having the ball. Mark O'Reilly. The ball sent back. So yeah, continue. I want both of them to sign an extension, and I want Edison to play the Premier League and Ortega to play the Champions League. If you ask me, because Ortega is perfectly. That is excellent there from Marco Riley. The interception was good, but sorry, from Rico Lewis, to be honest. That is excellent from Rico Lewis. There's a familiarity between how both of them move to an extent, and like this, but that was excellent from Rico Lewis. So yeah, continue. I would actually want Ortega in the cup competitions and Ederson in the Premier League. I think Ortega is an excellent shot stopper. He stops penalties well as well. I think better than Ederson. So I think that is the case. But honestly, in an ideal scenario, maybe Ederson moves on. You move Ortega you move Ortega as your first team goalkeeper, and then bring back someone like a James Trafford and continue his development, because James Trafford is City Youth Academy keeper, and he went to Burnley, so that is what could be done ideally, if you ask me. But it's a tough question, Countania. Very tough question. What do you feel? What do you feel, Countania? Why don't you answer that? Do you answer that? Because here people have very strong opinions about the question you asked. Because JSK is a staunch Ortega fan, and he wanted Edison to go this season, and he wanted Ortega to be number one. And I do agree with the performances. Ortega literally won us the cup, against Liverpool. He stopped two 3 point blank chances last season, Premier League. One on one with Darwin Nunes, McAllister, and stuff. Against Spurs, that Son chance, I don't think Edison would have stopped it. So, literally, Ortega on his own won us 2 or 3 matches last season in the Premier League. And Ortega, we must not forget, won us the entire FA Cup single-handedly. And we didn't concede a single goal from open play in that treble winning season FA Cup. So So I think it's an interesting question. So people in this community have been divided as well. A few people want Ortega to stay in Edison to go. Like me, I'm a bit on the fence, because Eddie has given us a lot of memories, given me a lot of memories, given us all a lot of memories. So I find it hard to let Eddie go, but I find it hard also to have Ortega sitting for so long on the bench, because Ortega for me is in the top five goalkeepers in the Premier League. Edison, Allison, Nick Pope, you could say. For me, Ortega comes above David Raya. City very loose after that pep talk. I don't know what Pep Guardiola said. Mateo Kovacic with a superb run. I thought he would play in Erling Haaland, but he's played in Jeremy Doku. Ah! I thought that was a corner definitely, but the referee doesn't think. But again, that is excellent wing play there from Jeremy Doku. He's just playing it absolutely well. Ah! The only thing is zero shots from Erling Haaland. The service to Erling Haaland has been zero. That's the only concerning thing for me about this half. Just like Bayaji says, Haaland yet to score at Wembley. True Bayaji, very true. Haaland yet to score at Wembley. And they're not even bloody creating anything for him as well. That's a free kick for United. Kind of been a little bit of a dull half, I would say. For 15 minutes, City were good. 15 minutes, United were good. Sort of. And then the half had just fizzled out. That's a free kick for United, and I think this should be the last kick of the half. What's been very exciting? The exciting thing about this half of football has been the football discussion with all of you guys. That's what has been the most exciting part, ask me. But incredibly proud of how we have stood up to this halftime, how we have stood up to this challenge of United playing so many first teamers, eight first teamers. We literally had three or four first teamers, half of what they were. I think final attack of the half, Ruben Diaz. Diaz just playing it to go to half time. The changes he'll make will be very, very interesting at half time. I want to see Issa Kabore come on and just go up against Marcus Rashford, to be honest. Countaineer says it's imminent that Ederson leaves if City doesn't up his wages. He won everything, and understandably, he feels he deserves to be paid more than even their short earning span. So Countaineer says, so I see Ederson to next Saudi next season. I think City have been ready to up his uh, up his wages. I think Ederson is already in the top three four goalkeepers. I think. Uh, in terms of the wages in the Premier League, but let me just check again. That's an interesting thing. I'm just seeing the payroll table for City. So it's actually interesting how much Edison actually earns. I think Edison earns around 180,000 pounds per week, if I'm not wrong. Rodri 220, Phil Foden, John Stones, Grealish, Bernardo, Haaland. I think Edison earns around 150 to 180,000 pounds per week, I think. And Saudi are offering him close to £1 million per week. I think no club with the sustainability rules can match 900,000 pounds, £1 million a week. Edison right now earns around 180,000 pounds a week, I think, which is a very good salary, I think. I think Allison also earns around the same amount, I think. So I mean, they might increase it a bit, but I think you cannot match what Saudi is offering, £1 million per week, which is 4 million a month, 48, 50 million pounds a year. That is unbeatable what Saudi is actually offering. Currently, yes, to my knowledge, Edison is on around 100,000 per week. Yes, he's on around 100,000 per week. And City have actually proposed to increase it to 180,000 per week. I think that is where the talks are right now. And Saudi is offering £1 million. I mean, if I were Edison, probably it's an interesting decision, and it's an interesting point because football, the career playing span itself is less, right? So you maybe take it because you never know, next season, just like what happened to Nick Pope, you might pull your hamstring, you're out of the entire season. Ortega becomes number one, and then you're stuck with the number two thing. Now the offers from Saudi are no more there because they have found the next attractive piece, and you're a year older. So everything could change in a year, to be honest. So probably I think, I don't know. And Edison has won everything there is to win. So I think he maybe could take it, to be honest. Yes, maybe I think Kandinya, you're right. Edison to Saudi next season could be a reality, to be honest. Yeah. That could be the thing, like I said, you could groom a younger keeper, which is what City are trying to do in this transfer window, if you see. And Fabrizio Romano has also been telling that City plan to spend the 90 million from Alvarez internally, and not buy someone with that amount. City plan to reinvest that amount into the academy and promote someone internally. That's an interesting that's actually an interesting philosophy from City, to be honest. Coutinho says it's better to sell a player than to disrupt the club's financial stability. He helped City and now move on. Sell him for 30 million. Saudi is ready to offer around 50 million pounds, Coutinho. 50 million pounds for Edison, because he's one of the best goalkeepers around the world. Yeah, I think honestly you take that 50, and then it will even free up a bit of the wages as well. I think take that 50. And interestingly, I think Ortega as well, in his new improved contract, Ortega is also earning around 100,000 pounds. Might have to cross check it, but that is what I've read in the previous article that I've read. Ortega renewed his contract, and he is earning around 100,000 pounds as well per week. So the situation around City is actually interesting. I think we are no longer, there has been an attitude shift, there has been a mentality shift about how we think about transfers. I think this season is showing it more than ever. I think what City are doing is buying those players of 10, 20 million pounds, giving them exposure and putting them into different City football group clubs, and then either sell them for a profit, or you make them integrate into your first team. Either way, it's profitable for you. So the approach is very interesting, and now a lot of people are actually telling CFG itself is a big, it's kind of, it's unfair to what is happening in the football world. So now you tell me that how will your youth players get exposure? The Premier League too is not good enough. Pep Guardiola has set the step up from Premier League 2 to the Premier League is huge, so it's not good enough. So how do you give exposure to these players by sending them on loan to different clubs, but then the philosophy of the other clubs might be different. So if you send them on loan to your group clubs, I think you can take care of control a lot of aspects. You know, the training, the style of play of your parent club, and all of those things. So it's actually the philosophy is interesting. What City are doing. Coutinho says if Ederson doesn't leave, Ortega will leave because he feels he deserves to be starting 11 regularly now. So either of them are leaving for sure. Sorry for extending the discussion so much. Coutinho, once on this channel we had 1 hour of discussion. I think JSK was there and I think Bayaji was there. There were 4 or 5 of us and we had 1 hour discussion of the topic Ederson versus Ortega. This was 1.5 season back, and honestly, it's a very contesting topic. The fan base is divided on this topic. Ortega, Ederson. For me, the perfect thing is Ortega Champions League and Cups and Ederson in the Premier League. I think if Ederson doesn't accept, he probably can leave. I think so. That for me is the solution there. I think because neither of them are good enough uh, to be on the bench. Because there's a guy like Ortega who's won you the Premier League single-handedly, and Ederson's, you know what Ederson is. So I think neither of them are neither of them are you know neither of them are bad enough to be left out of the playing 11, and neither of them deserves to be sat back on the bench. I'm just thinking if Ortega would leave, for example, a lot of Premier League clubs, Mikel Arteta would be first in the line. He would dump Raya and he would bring in Ortega. Ortega is a better distributor than Raya. He's a better shot stopper than Raya. One-on-one situations, Stefan Ortega is just a bomb. Stefan Ortega is just a fantastic player in one-on-one situations. He's one of the best around in one-on-one situations. Stefan Ortega, the way he makes himself big, the way he saves with his legs like David De Gea. I mean, this is where I think the greatness of Pep Guardiola comes in. And I also think if it was any other manager than a Pep Guardiola, there would already be rumblings among the goalkeepers. There would be a lot of other things. Pep is there, that's where there is control, and there's not much of a talk that I want to leave this and that. So and I think Stefan Ortega now is way good enough to just be playing in the cups. He's won the FA Cup without conceding goal from an open play, and he's just conceded 1 goal from open play, that to a penalty. The entire FA Cup campaign in City's treble winning season 2 years back. What else do you expect from him in the domestic cups? He's completed the domestic cups, maybe Carabao Cup. I mean, he's just completed the domestic cup, so interesting. I would like to see Savinho come on, Kevin De Bruyne come on, and Issa Kabore come on in this half, to be honest. United have played little 1-2s well. But yeah, I just saw the I just saw the transfers of Chelsea, Pedro Neto for 63 million, and I was like, no, because Pedro Neto was a player who we went after when Mahrez left, a bit. We wanted to sign Pedro Neto as a Mahrez replacement for 50-60 million pounds. Even at the starting of this transfer window, there were a lot of rumors that City could be targeting Pedro Neto, even though we got Savinho. But I honestly thought at that point that maybe injury record is something, with Pedro Neto, and you didn't want to have a winger who would be injury prone. So happy with the business which we have done. Just an understudy of Rodri is left. Fisaka Bore is Pep Guardiola's right back option. I'm fine with that. Understudy of Rodri, and we are set to go in this season. How many points do you think uh, this season? will win you the title in the Premier League. What is the points? Is it 90, 85, 90, mid 90s, late 90s? What do you think? I mean, we'll have a show discussing uh, um discussing things about the opponents and how strong who are title challengers. I mean, what can you expect of Liverpool, Spurs? Can the challengers for the title? They're a little bit of uh, it's not so smooth this Premier League season, to be honest. There are teams that could potentially challenge you. There are disruptors already in this Premier League uh, season. Spurs could be in dark horse. Liverpool are looking absolutely strong after Zubimendi. Zubimendi, McAllister, Sabozalai is rivaling and challenging any midfield in the Premier League right now with the kind of attack they have had. So both the teams zero shots on target. City just shading possession. So it's going to be interesting that there are going to be subplots upon subplots in this Premier League season. So I know that Arsenal are our contender. What I'm thinking is one more time let us blow Arsenal out of the water. This time, if Arsenal cannot do it, I think Mikel Arteta will definitely be losing hope. I think Mikel Arteta will be even sacked if Arsenal just cannot uh, win it this time, because Arteta, this will be, I think by the end of the season, it will be 6 years, close to, it's 5.5 years, almost close to 6 years that Arteta has been given the job at Arsenal. 6 years is a lot of time in the current day, this thing. And and like uh, and like Gary Neville said, second place, you don't get trophies for finishing second. You might get condolences, you might get consolation, telling people telling you that you competed well against it, you competed well against it, but you don't get trophies. And I feel that champions never want condolences and consolations. Champions are like, we will go down fighting. I either won the trophy or nothing, and that is the attitude which Arsenal are lacking, and which City have, which Liverpool in a way had against under Jurgen Klopp, which City have. And Arsenal are always, they could be a poor man's Man City. Always, you could say Arsenal always clinging on the fact that we have finished second, we are finishing in top four for the last so many years, and now we are finishing second, second, second. That's what Arsenal is. Candinia says Arteta would take Ortega any day, and we all know Chelsea is always ready for anyone. Maybe they'll need two dressing rooms in every stadium they play. Continue, but one thing, I think Chelsea can now sell tickets even for their internal practice matches, because there will be two strong playing 11s now. It will almost be like two Premier League teams themselves playing in that internal practice matches. That's what Chelsea can do and earn extra revenue. I think, because Chelsea are just, I mean, Fabrizio Romano was saying that Osimhen is the touch and go for both Arsenal and Chelsea. And Chelsea are ready to offer Lukaku in a swap deal for Victor Osimhen. So that could be something interesting. Chelsea. And rumors are also coming that Raheem Sterling will go to Juventus. I hope that doesn't happen, because I have Raheem Sterling in my fantasy team. That will be a big, big loss for me if Raheem Sterling goes to Juventus. Honestly, I think Enzo Maseka, Enzo Maseka loves Sterling, so I don't know why he'll allow Sterling to go to Juventus. But yeah, anyway, talking about the title contenders, I mean, let me know who will be City's closest title contenders, Arsenal or Liverpool, or do you see Spurs? Because especially after the signing of Dominic Solanke, I think Spurs, it will be mad not to actually count Spurs in that sort of title contending ilk, because Dominic Solanke, Son, Kulusevski, Madison, Bissouma, Pepe Matasar. The six are as good as a front six you'll get in the Premier League. Though these front six are comparable to Your Arsenal's and even Liverpool's to an extent. Maybe not City's, not at that level, but yeah, they're very good. And then Vicario is an excellent goalkeeper. Romero, Pedro Porro. Pedro Porro is in the top three right backs in the Premier League. Udogi full of talent. So I think the Spurs team is very, very good. Spurs team is excellent, I think. Oh, Edison is coming out. Edison is coming out. Just let me know in the comments on what all substitutes City have made, especially because the commentary is off here, so I do not know. And they sometimes show, they sometimes do not show substitutions here. So do let me know in the comments below what are the substitutions City have made. The players are back. I see Edison stepping out, and that's a bit surprising, I would say. Surprising is Casemiro stepping out as well. I don't know why Ten Hag is giving so many minutes to these players. I do not think many changes have been made, but yeah. I mean, any changes have been made. I don't think any changes have been made, to be honest. City kick off the ball, and the kickoff goes to Edison. Pep would have given them City right rollicking in this at half time, to be honest, because that was a good first half only for 10-15 minutes, and after that, it was all about misplaced passes and stuff. Erling Haaland seems very frustrated here. Harry Maguire. The one thing is we're not pressing high, we're not pressing well. Yes, now the press has started. You see James McAtee leading the press. Erling Haaland just, I think James McAtee and Haaland are playing in a 4-4-2 out of possession. United with the attack. That is very good defending there. That is excellent defending there. Literally, when the ball went on to Rashford's side, the sun was just in your eyes. I think the camera angle was like that, maybe. Nico O'Reilly. That is a foul on Nico O'Reilly, and the linesman has flattened. Casemiro just kick him. Nico O'Reilly kick him. Casemiro is telling, where is the foul? Where are the cards, ref? Casemiro. Remember, he's not wearing a white shirt. He's not at Madrid. You can give him cards. I remember at the Bernabeu when they did that comeback against us 3 seasons back. Casemiro should have been sent off long back. The referee just lost it. Referee did not have the balls to give red card to Casemiro. Edison. Rico Lewis has done extremely well. He's superb on the ball. Josko Guardiola, that is a fullback to fullback switch, which is excellent. United are having the ball. United are just passing it around, and there's not much intensity, I think. Erling Haaland is now trying to press. I think City are looking to press in a mid block more than anything else. Oscar Bob coming in for the press and very well done, and they've just driven United backwards. City are pressing very well, and I think United are just looking for that one ball over the top. So I think it's a strategy as well not to overcome it with the press, because you overcome it with the press, ball over the top, and Rashford is through, and there's no Kyle Walker as well to catch him. So Edison there with the ball. That is an excellent ball from Edison, and Nico O'Reilly picks it up. Can he play in Erling Haaland? Ah, and it has again fallen for James McAtee, and James McAtee just does not have any luck today. James, how's your luck? And it's a free kick, and it's a very good tackle from Ruben Diaz there. That is a great tackle there from Ruben Diaz, to be honest. Mason Mount. That is a fantastic tackle from Ruben Diaz there on Mason Mount. Savinho is there. Savio is getting ready. Is warming up. Onana taking his time on the ball. Let us see City substitutes, to be honest. It's gone out for a goal kick, but I'll just checking if no, there's been no substitutes, to be honest, from either team. That's fine. Jeremy Doku on the ball. Jeremy Doku cuts inside. The ball just left him. The final minute, and Manuel Akanji gets across. The pace of Manuel Akanji is just so underrated. I mean, it's still beyond me how we managed to get Manuel Akanji just for 20 million pounds. Such an experienced defender, pace, strength, IQ. He's having everything. Maybe injury record is what has actually deterred people, but again, kudos to City's medical department as well. I think there needs to be a change in the medical department at United as well. I think because Akanji was one of the most injury-prone players. He would not play regularly for Dortmund, and at City is hardly having injuries. Is always available. But yeah, I think it all comes down to managing minutes more than anything else, keeping everyone happy. And I think Ten Hag just cannot do that. And Pep does that remarkably well. Is offside, is offside, is offside, is offside, is offside, is offside. Bruno Fernandes was offside. Bruno Fernandes was offside there. There's no question about that. Bruno Fernandes was offside over there. That's a great strike from Bruno Fernandes. Fantastic strike, but he was offside. There is absolutely no question about that. And the offside's confirmed. And I don't know if there is VAR for this or not. A bit of a let off for City, I think. Need to be aware that Bruno Fernandes is making that run and Casemiro. The strategy from United is simple. Onana to defender, defender to Casemiro, Casemiro to Bruno Fernandes. I don't understand why they're having wingers and stuff as well. That is the strategy. Oscar Bob and it's Marco Riley actually, sorry, and it's a counter opportunity. Erling Haaland. Haaland's passing has been abysmal today. Erling Haaland at Wembley is always shit. Remember that match in Erling Haaland's debut season 2 years ago? Everyone was telling Darwin Nunes is the best and Erling Haaland is shit. And how that turned out? So Erling Haaland at Wembley has traditionally been shit. So there's it's nothing new. It's nothing new in that if you ask me. JSK says I will take Ortega or Edison every day. I know JSK, I know. That's what I was telling to Kandania. We have some town supporters here of Ortega and JSK. None more so than JSK. You support Ortega very well, I know that. Jeremy Doku, that's a foul. The ref. So wanker, it doesn't give a foul. Rico Lewis is honestly struggling on that side. Get Isaka Bore. Rico Lewis is struggling. He's not a fullback if you ask me. Rico Lewis is struggling. I think Pep needs to make that change. That's a corner for United. Rico Lewis does well with his defensive action over there. But Lewis is just struggling, to be honest. JSK says, I said we need a right back. Issa Kabore is there, JSK. That's what I'm looking at. When will Pep bring him in? Issa Kabore, Luton. This is a corner. In swinging corner, we need to defend it well. That's well defended. That's a good header. That is well done by Jack. And it's offside. And City have a chance to restart the match. Countainia says, what is Rico Lewis' best position? It's interesting, Countainia. A journalist asked him the same question on pre-season tour, and a lot of substitutions from United. Garnacho's coming on. Good, I have him in my fantasy team. But yeah, a journalist asked him uh, the exact same question, and he said, my best position is attacking midfield. Cam, the position which Foden's playing, the position which Kevin De Bruyne is playing. Cam, I honestly feel Rico Lewis' best position is box to box midfield position, the position which Jude Bellingham's playing. If Rico Lewis would have a little bit more height, I think you would be rating him in the same milk as a Jude Bellingham. Because honestly, the talent to play in the tight spaces, the runs he makes into the box, the finishing, the shots, the power in his shots, his close control, dribbling ability, world class. He has the burst of pace, world class. It's just his physicality stopping him. And we have to just remember he's 17 when he broke through into the team and is 19 now. Rico Lewis, I think, is 18 or 19 now. So for me, Rico Lewis thinks it's scam. For me, I think it's box to box. And I think Pep Guardiola also thinks it's box to box. That is what is his best position, I think. Pep has told it sometimes. What do you think, Gandhi? You're saying Rico Lewis. What do you think is his best position? That is wonderful there from Marco Riley. That is again excellent. But he really just needs a little bit more maturity, to be honest. This is his first season with the first team, so we need a right back. I maybe think Isakabore could be the answer. I know I'm just telling about Isakabore from that time, but I'm very excited to see him be a part of this lineup, to be honest. Onana is just playing it out at the back. And then when City engage in the high press, that is what they're waiting for. But United will also face teams. When teams don't engage in high press, then what will you do? Garnacho is there as well. I think we have to bring in someone for Rico Lewis, honestly. Lewis does extremely well there. That is excellent. On the ball, he's better than even Zinchenko, who's a very good technician. He's better than Zinchenko as well on the ball. That tells you about a lot about Rico Lewis. They're trying to press Kovacic, and I feel poor for them. Even the god of football cannot press Kovacic. He's that good, he can get out. Even if 3-4 players are pressing him, I've seen him get out of the press. He's that good. If not for Modric and Kroos, Kovacic would be a regular in the Real Madrid team. They move Kroos and Modric are two generational talents, and that's what prevented Kovacic from being a regular in that great Madrid team under Zidane. That is an excellent ball, I think, from Manu Akanji. And then Jeremy Doku is dribbling. Doku needs to pass and he's done well. James McAtee, Jeremy Doku. Doku. Oh, Riley does extremely well. Yasko Guardiol with the shooting chance there. Ah, Guardiol with the shooting chance, but O'Reilly did extremely well over there to keep hold of the ball. Not seen much of Bob in the second half. To be honest, he was excellent in the first half. I think Savio comes on for Doku in the next 5 minutes. I'll be very unhappy if Pep doesn't make any substitutions in this game. I mean, they're all ready to make the substitutions there. Let's see who's coming on. This is very interesting, guys. Let's see who's coming on. O'Reilly is off. Matheus Nunes is on. Savio is on. O'Reilly is off. Matheus Nunes is on. Doku is off. Savio is on. Wow, look at the confidence of Pep Guardiola. How much? When was the last time you've seen a player that City signed and has been introduced that quickly into the game? Josko Guardiol. Savio on the left hand side. Left footer on the left hand side. Not since Leroy Sané have we had a left footer play on the left hand side. And there have been interesting comparisons in the Athletic and some other media channels. Erling Haaland gets to the ball. This is interesting. Oscar Bob needs to switch it to Savinho. Yes, he does find the switch to Savinho there, Oscar Bob. Savinho one on one. Savinho one on one. Look at his maturity. He knows there's nothing to be done there. And as usual, Matthews Nunes loses the ball and it's Alejandro Garnacho. Josko Guardiol. Josko. That is wonderful defending back there from Matthews Nunes. But yeah, a lot of comparisons between Savinho and Savinho having a hybrid kind of gameplay between Leroy Sané and Riyad Mahrez. The game has gone end to end now. Both the managers are going for it, I think. Switch to Savinho. Matthews. Switch to Savinho. Yes, he's played it early to Savinho. That is wonderful there from Savinho. just look at it. It's taken back and then brought it forward. This is fantastic from Savinho there. Great bit of play. He just seems to be a different kind of dribbler to Jeremy Doku, to be honest. He just seems to be elegant. He moves like Riyad Mahrez, but but his footwork is like Leroy Sané. Cardenas says, oh, and he's taking corners as well, Savinho. Switch it. Oscar, switch it to Savinho. I mean, he can't switch from there, of course. That is a great ball. That is a foul. That is wonderful work by James McAtee and Kovacic was on it and it's a foul. Savinho is taking the set piece now. Not since Riyad Mahrez. I have been so... is it a set piece? City take it quickly, but I thought maybe Savinho will take it in a Mahrez style. Savinho does extremely well there. Look at that ball into Erling Haaland. That is just a dream. It didn't reach Haaland, I know, but you see the intentions there. That ball into Erling Haaland. If Savinho can loop those balls into the air for Haaland to attack, I don't think there's anyone as tall as Haaland in the Premier League, maybe except for Dan Burn. But Savinho has just been excellent in a little bit of glimpses. That's a foul as well by Matthews Nunes. Currently, I think Matthews Nunes is someone who's very, very underrated. I think at Sporting Lisbon and at at Wolves as well, there were times when he ran the midfield on his own. I think you just give him time, and I think Matthews Nunes is another reason why we are not buying a backup for Rodri. Maybe Pep believes that Nunes can do the job in big games. He's tenacious, quick, cross the pitch. It's just his decision making, which he needs to rectify a bit. Kovacic. Not a good ball from Kovacic. And Kovacic gets the ball back. Savinho, Haaland. Savinho. Not on the same wavelength. Happens. He's just come new into the team. Happens. But I'm just excited by the movement and the and the speed of passing of Savinho. This guy just looks to be a baller already. This is just superb there from Savinho. What I've seen of him, and I think probably with what you've seen, I think he deserves to be starting over Jeremy Doku as well. That is offside, I think. Anyway, Bruno Fernandes with that run, but I thought it was. Nunez does extremely well there. And Savio gets the ball. That is a wonderful ball. Matheus Nunes is in. That's a penalty. Oh, it's actually a very good tackle. For a moment, I thought that was a penalty, but that was. That's a good tackle. He got the ball, but actually, Bruno Fernandes was on side over there. Savinho with the corner. He's an excellent set piece taker as well, Savinho. Ah! It's another corner for City. That was a chance for Manuel Akanji there. That was a chance. Excellent delivery from Savinho. Wonderful delivery. He should be the one taking set pieces for City. Bored of the shit set pieces from everyone else, including De Bruyne and Foden. And United have a new set piece coach. I think he's the one who's standing in the manager's box. I think someone's down over there. It's Josko Guardiola. I think it's a head injury to be honest. But Savinho already looks the complete package, I think. Corners, set pieces, his movement, the way he's passing, the way he's playing people in. Wow. That too on the left hand from the left hand side. Just imagine Kevin De Bruyne and Savinho, how lethal of partnership that would be. I just wish Pep substitutes Kevin De Bruyne in just for that last few minutes, to be honest. Oscar Bob gets the ball. James McAtee, Oscar Bob. Referee doesn't give a penalty for that, but that's good defending there. I think Oscar Guardiola needs to be back. He has the pace to rival even a Rashford, I would say, to be honest. His turn of pace is very underrated. Oscar Guardiola. It's a throw in, I think, for United. I thought the ball has not gone out. I'll just have water and Eric Ten Hag there. Look on his face is as if this is a Champions League final. That is fantastic there from Savinho. How he's given the okay, that's fine, but the way he's picked that ball out of thin air is just superb. Already Savinho in the first in the 15 minutes is played as shown why he'll start for City for sure. Grealish is having a very hard time. Doku, Savinho, Oscar Bob. Looks like all three of them are ahead of Jack Grealish. That's a throw in for City. Nunes has looked good. The problem with Nunes is just a little bit of that final pass. He just gets too excited. Otherwise, I think you could actually see shades of Fernandino, shades of the great Fernandino in Matthews Nunes, to be honest. It's hit the post and it's gone out. That just sums up what Rashford is going through actually. He's missed an open goal. Rashford's literally missed an open goal here. Garnacho's on side. He's played in Rashford. Rashford missed an open goal over there. That is an open goal. Marcus Rashford. Don't have any sympathy for United, to be honest. Marcus Rashford open goal. I don't think you'll get a more open goal than that. Back to Edison. Back to Akanji. City's defenders are having a bit of fun, to be honest. Akanji has to play. Has to play to Savio, who's free. I think the better route was Savio Haaland. And then Haaland Savio was free over there. I mean, until this point, honestly, I'm satisfied with what I've seen. The ball's gone out over there, but satisfied with what I've seen of the kids. Oscar Bob's ready. Savinho is ready. Must remember, Savinho is just 20, so I think Oscar Bob and Savinho are probably of the same age, to be honest. So it's literally a good age group of players growing up with each other. Oscar Bob, Savinho, Jeremy Doku, Josko Guardiol, we must not forget, he's just 21. Issa Kabore, if he actually makes it, I think Issa Kabore is in the same age bracket. Phil Foden's almost there, 1 or 2 years here and there. James McAtee, Callum Doyle, I think will be a big addition into our defense in the coming seasons. I think 7 years offside over there. Erling Haaland, we must remember, also is around that same age bracket, 20, 22, something like that. So I think it's a great group of players actually going up with each other. So Matthews known as, I think he's an all-action midfielder and could actually see shades of Fernandino in him in certain actions that he actually does. What a ball that is. What a block that is, and it's a corner for City. Garnacho is just looking so good. Garnacho is just looking so dangerous here for Manchester United. It's a corner and it's an in-swinging corner. And that's a good header again. I think it's Scott McTominay with uh, with the header. It's going end to end right now. It's Marcus Rashford with the header, and McTominay just misses his kick. To be honest, that could be another open goal, but kind of again the pace at which the ball comes to you in those kind of situations, that was actually very difficult. City need to be careful here. I hope Pep brings on another defender. Bernardo Silva comes on. Bernardo Silva comes on. I don't know in whose place he comes on. James McAtee goes off. Bernardo Silva comes on. James McAtee, maybe he might not have to show anything for assists or output, but he's been good in small spaces, to be honest. Managed the ball well, shown that he belongs at this level. This is excellent from Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva goes, it's a 3v3 at the back. Savinho. Savinho does extremely well to keep hold of the ball. Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob does well. Manuel Akanji's forward now. Savinho. That's a foul on Savinho and it's a free kick. I hope Savinho takes the free kick as well. I know it's a quick free kick, so Bernardo Silva coming on and suddenly City look very good. Savinho just losing the ball over there. It's a 3v3 at the back for United. And United score. I think it's Alejandro Garnacho who scores. United score. This was coming. This was always coming. I think it's a tradition for City not to do that well in the Community Shield, to be honest. I think it's always been a tradition for City not to do well in the Community Shield. That's fine. We lost to Liverpool. We lost to Arsenal. Maybe this. And what happened whenever we lost? We won. We won the titles that season. Garnacho. And I think Garnacho with this goal actually starts for United, and that's good because I have him in my fantasy team, to be honest. That's a good strike into the corner of the net. What will City do? Will Pep look for any response? Let's see. It's 8 more minutes to go. The end of the day, I know it's a friendly, maybe a little bit more than friendly, but that's all there is to it. Jadon Sancho comes on by United. Bayaji says season changes, pathetic defense remains the same. That is true. That is true, Bayaji. And also, I think Bayaji, we must remember that Rodri is not there, Walker's not there. But yeah, you're right. The pathetic defense remain the same. But still, anyway, Bayaji, I think Community Shield, as traditionally City have not done well in the Community Shield. When I think the last we have won the Community Shield is, when was it, in 13, 14, something like that? And that was the in in 14, 15, I think. No, in 15, 16, Leicester won the title. That's when we didn't win the Community Shield. And that year we lost the Premier League title. And all the other years when we lost the Community Shield, we have done well in the Premier League title. I know the match is not over, but yeah. Bayaji, what do you think of Savinho? It, at least from what you have seen, what are your early thoughts on Savinho? Bernardo Silva there, aggression on Garnacho. Season changes, pathetic defense remains the same. Bayaji says we won in 2019, beating Pool on pens, I think, and lost the league, obviously. Exactly, Bayaji. In the last 10 years, City have won the Community Shield twice. I think once in the Leicester season. The year before, Pellegrini won the league with us. That was Istanbul. Liverpool 3-0 up, they do 3-3. Steven Gerrard slipped. The season after that, we won the Community Shield and lost the league. Leicester won the league, and then 2019 we won the Community Shield and lost the league. Liverpool won it. After that, all of the time when we won the league, we lost in the Community Shield. So may that remain like that. And also, I think we must not forget that uh, City have won four Premier League titles in a row, which is unprecedented. We have done the treble 2 seasons before. We're close to doing the double last season. We just went out to Real Madrid on penalties and an open goal missed by De Bruyne. So I think an important question is, what we have seven of the last eight Premier League titles or something, something like that. Huge record. The question is, for a team that has won seven of the last eight Premier League titles, how do you maintain that hunger? I do not think even Bayern dominated the Bundesliga in this way, winning six of the last seven, winning seven of the last eight Premier League titles. I do not think even Bayern had such a dominance. So how do you keep the players hungry? That is a question. That is a big question. We must not forget that every season we as fans go in with the mentality that, yes, we need to win, but the players are not machines as well. How do you get the hunger back? That is what Pep Guardiola will be thinking. He could use this Community Shield defeat, for example, to, right. Cardenas says, what a quote. I wish someone said this to Pep Guardiola in a press conference. But then Pep Guardiola will tell you, we have the second best defense in the Premier League last season. The last 4 or 5 years, City either had the first City had the best defense in the Premier League, I think twice or thrice, and we had second best defense in the Premier League two, three times. That's what Pep will tell you. But yeah, I think it's tradition for Pep Guardiola and City. You win the Community Shield and generally don't do well in the league. You don't win the Community Shield, you do well in the league for the last 6, 7 years. That's what it's. And Bernardo Silva scores! Woo! What a goal! Bernardo Silva! Look at him celebrating! Woo! Just when I said that comment, it had to be. It had to be. Birthday boy scores. Bernardo. The hunger is in his eyes. Look at it. Look at how he's signaling to the fans. This is why you need Bernardo Silva there for the hunger he provides. The assist was fantastic there from Oscar Bob. Was it Oscar Bob? That was excellent combination play there. Savinho and Oscar Bob. Savinho to Rico Lewis to Savinho, Savinho to Oscar Bob, and then Bernardo Silva with the header. But the movement of Savinho in that pre-assist to Oscar Bob was superb. The way Savinho gave that ball and he went away. Wow. That is superb there from Savinho. Oscar Bob, fantastic. Oscar Bob with another assist. Wow. It's 1-1 and it's the 90th minute and Kevin De Bruyne comes on. Nathan Ake comes on. Do we have extra time in this or it directly goes to penalties? What is it? Bayaji's quotes are always very thrilling. They're very good. Like with Gundogan, I think he Bayaji said the quote इस शहर का सिर्फ एक ही गुंडा है. That was another epic quote from Bayaji. Bayaji says direct to pens in shield. Bayaji, what do you honestly want to happen in this match? Do you want City to? I mean, just looking at traditionally how it's gone, Community Shield for City. What do you want to happen here in this match? United on the attack again. How many minutes of added time are there? Kevin De Bruyne on the ball. Rusty De Bruyne. But Kevin De Bruyne gives a second pop. Can he find Erling Haaland? Can he find Savinho? Whom will he find? Rusty Kevin De Bruyne. He does not want to find anyone. Kevin De Bruyne is telling Savinho, you don't know our traditions. We don't do well in the Community Shield. And I'm not going to give you that pass. There are certain things that are not good for City. Doing well in the Community Shield, Erling Haaland scoring in the Community Shield. I don't think Haaland has ever scored at Wembley. Kevin De Bruyne, look at Erling Haaland. He's just playing shit. Nathan Ake does well there. Ake should have cleared it. Counting says, crazy how this little man pops up everywhere, stops opposition's transitions, and the next minute he's in the box. He will be the hardest player to replace, Kandanya. He will absolutely be the hardest player to replace. The closest I see is Fede Valverde. But Fede Valverde does not have the close control and the technical ability of Bernardo Silva. Conor Gallagher has the industry like Fede Valverde but does not have the technical skills and close control. How someone like a How a player in the ilk of David Silva, how a player in the ilk of David Silva could become so tenacious, could become so no so could become so industrious in terms of going after the ball. It's just beyond me. Bernardo Silva is a separate specimen. These kind of players can only be grown in the lab. Bernardo Silva is just something else. He's so diminutive, but he does so many things. Probably, I think Rico Lewis could take something out of the book of Bernardo Silva. That mentality matters and counts for far, far more things than physicality. And he does not, and Rico Lewis does not need to look any farther to find his idols in David Silva and Bernardo Silva in terms of how two people with one of the frailest physical personalities are going to end up as two of the greatest midfielders to have ever played the Premier League. This is wonderful from Mateo Kovacic. He has to find Savinho there. He finds Savinho there. Rico Lewis, Kevin De Bruyne. What a ball from Kevin De Bruyne. Just a bit more faster. That is almost an impossible ball there to find. Bayaji says this season City to break the jinx and win both the Shield and the league. How many minutes have they bloody added on? They're not even showing plus timing here. Don't know. Kevin De Bruyne does extremely well there. Back to Edison. Edison is having fun. Eddie's having fun. Rico Lewis cannot find Kevin De Bruyne. United get the ball and I think it was 5 minutes of added time. And Garnacho with the goal and Bernardo Silva with their goal return back. Let's see penalties. City are, I don't know, we are not good at penalties at all, but let's see how it is. The penalties and I mean the takers for me will be Erling Haaland, of course, Oscar Bob, Savinho, Kevin De Bruyne, of course, Bernardo Silva. But I think I would just like to bring the mentality of Bernardo Silva here because against Real Madrid, Modric misses that penalty and Bernardo Silva also misses his penalty, and that was kind of where Bernardo Silva hits it straight at the keeper. Keeper doesn't move, and Bernardo Silva was devastated. In an interview later, he told he could not sleep for 1 or 2 nights. That's how devastated he was. And then after 4 or 5 days, he plays again. After 4 days, he plays Chelsea in the FA Cup, and then he scores that goal and he plays an integral part in the rest of the campaign. So just about the personality of the player, about the mentality of Bernardo Silva, how it is to come back from that penalty miss, which cost your team a potential Champions League final berth, and then do it so quickly, just in the next match against Chelsea. That was just something else. Just hats off to this player, Bernardo Silva, and whoever has got him at City. Wonderful. Cardinia says Bernardo is a team man. I feel what's the most difficult. That's the most difficult thing to find these days. Exactly, Kandinya. When no the I mean to sum up what Bernardo Silva is, I'll take a next comment and I'll sum up what Bernardo Silva is. Cardenas says he doesn't moan when he isn't playing, doesn't demand to be played in a certain position, plays anywhere both in defense and attack. Manager's delight, I would say. He started at right back when Walker and everyone was injured. I think he started at right back against Arsenal, I think 2 seasons ago. But to sum up what Bernardo Silva is, against Liverpool, 2 years back, I think that was a ferociously pressing. That was for me Liverpool at one of the best iterations. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool pressing high, Fabinho, Van Dijk, all of those Salah, Sadio Mane, tenacious pressing. I mean, no one at City would dare to take the ball of your centre backs. Sorry, to take the ball of Ederson or take the ball of your centre backs because Mane, Salah, everyone was just pressing. Firmino pressing. Bernardo Silva took the ball. of Edison. Bernardo Silva took the ball of Edison. Bernardo Silva took the ball of John Stones. Bernardo Silva was doing centre back's job, sometimes the CDM's job. He puts his hand up in the most difficult of situations, Bernardo Silva. That just sums up the personality of the man. Yes, he could fail. Yes, he missed that penalty against Real Madrid. The fact that he stepped up to take it is what for me defines him. It takes a lot of balls of steel. It takes balls. It takes courage to step up and even take that penalty. He could easily have said, "I will not take the penalty against Madrid." So I think even he missed it. I think that's fine against Madrid. We need to let Bernardo take his penalty here. And Edison, will you ever save a penalty in your life, Eddie? And Bruno Fernandes is the main taker, so I do not expect Bruno Fernandes to miss. JSK says, don't let Silva take it. I think Silva needs to take it. Bayaji says Edison hardly saves any, so let it be. The surprise was he saved against Modric. I mean, against Real Madrid from Modric against Real Madrid. But then the thing is, Edison doesn't save. Bernardo Silva is taking the first penalty. This is interesting. Will he hit? Will he miss? The mentality. Ah! Missed it. Bernardo missed it. Ah, Bernardo missed it. Ah, Bernardo missed it. बाया जैसे ये भगवान ये देखने से पहले मैं अंधा क्यों नहीं ट्रेडिशन बाया जी ट्रेडिशन दे आर काइंड ऑफ फॉलोइंग द ट्रेडिशन आई थिंक डिएगो डालो आई थॉट फॉर अ मोमेंट एडरसन ऑलमोस्ट सेव्ड इट ये कैसे अंदर चला गया Ederson should have saved it to be a Bayaji Ederson should have saved it. That was such an easy save from Ederson. Kevin De Bruyne comes up. मुझे इस पे भी confidence नहीं है. I think even Kevin De Bruyne is gonna miss. Why didn't Bernardo? Why didn't Bernardo do this thing? Bayaji says even if he guesses it correct. Exactly. I mean that was such an easy save, and that was one of the worst penalties by Diego Dalot. Ederson got to it. He should have easily saved it. किस्मत में लिखा नहीं था एडरसन का. भाई जिसे सिटी प्लेस ट्राइंग टू बी क्यूट विद पेन्स इंस्टेड ऑफ पावर. क्यूट कुछ नहीं भैया जी, ट्रेडिशन अपहोल्ड करने का पूरा कोशिश कर रहे हैं. The tradition of the community shield and the league. That is what I maybe think it might be. United win the community shield. I mean, no one has actually won the community shield. It's a draw, to be honest. It's just the penalties in the record books. It will be a draw. It's just penalties for giving the shield. That's all. अभी हालैंड मिस न कर ले. हाँ, I hope Haaland doesn't miss. यही दिन देखना बाकी था. हालैंड ओनाना के सामने मिस कर ले पेनल्टी. यही दिन देखना बाकी था. वो भी वेम्बली पे है. It's I mean in Wembley. And in Wembley, Haaland generally doesn't score goals. ये क्या है हमेशा. I think at Wembley City are always fighting against some jinx or the other. Look at this cute penalty from Erling Haaland. Why Bernardo of all people? And look at what Onana is telling to Haaland, hit it there. And I think ये तो बस हंसी मजाक पे खेल रहे, they're just having fun. Onana is standing to the left and telling Kevin Erling Haaland, hit it to the right. एडरसन एक तो सेव कर ले अब, एक ही तो सेव कर ले तेरी पूरी जिंदगी में. With Jadon Sancho, I'm confident Ederson will save. Confident Eddie will save this. Ah! Eddie saved! Eddie saved! Woo! Eddie saved! मैंने क्या बोला था, जेडन सैंचो. ये ना ये ना भाई भैया जी, जेडन सैंचो वर्सेस एडरसन, दो 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 तकदीरों का टक्कर है. It's like the clash of two destinies. जेडन सैंचो एंड एडरसन. एक को पेनल्टी मारना नहीं आता, एक को पेनल्टी सेव करना नहीं आता. बस दो तकदीरों का क्लैश था बस. और एडरसन का डेस्टिनी जीत गया. जेडन सैंचो का तकदीर और खराब चल रहा था. बट सेविन्यो पता नहीं ये कैसे मारेगा. सेवियो. Very good penalty from Savio. I think Savio can be an excellent penalty taker. Just look at, I mean, CSK says what I said. Don't let Silva take it. And United fans should be telling the same. JSK, don't let Jadon Sancho take it. बस कैसेमीरो, the look on Casemiro's faces, मैं एक पल भी यहाँ रहना नहीं चाहता. बस पेनल्टी ब्लास्ट करूंगा क्राउड में और चला जाऊंगा यहाँ से. बस आई मीन कैसेमीरो का मुंह देख के, शक्ल देख के ये नहीं लगता कि मारेगा. वो तो क्राउड पे ब्लास्ट करेगा. चलो विल सी. नहीं, ढंग का पेनल्टी मारा, बहुत अच्छा पेनल्टी मारा, होश में है कैसेमीरो. भाई this is right technique by Savio. The technique by Savio is excellent. I mean, Savio's gameplay impressed me the most today. The way he just plucked the ball out of thin air, which Riyad Mahrez used to do. His movement, the way he's moving on the pitch, the way he's dribbling, just something else. Savio is just a world-class talent. It's just something else. Ederson is taking it low up. Ederson. I think this penalty was better than the penalty by Bernardo Silva. Will Onana take it now? Will Onana take it now? Ederson का तो I mean ये होना चाहिए हमारा पेनल्टी टेकर. एडरसन क्या, हालैंड, सैवियो, ये वो, एडरसन होना चाहिए पेनल्टी टेकर. पेनल्टीज बचाने के लिए किसी और को ढूंढ लो, पर टेक तो पेनल्टीज एडरसन को ही करना चाहिए. एडरसन has to be the one who takes it. Scott McTominay scores. By just a sudden death. अभी पेप इज आस्किंग, पेप पूछ रहा है सबको, मैं ले सकता हूं क्या एक पेनल्टी? मैथ्यूज न्यूनेस, ये बंदा तो मैथ्यूज न्यूनेस, his day has not been good. What can Matthews Nunes do? JSK says this is never ending. एक तो मार ले न्यूनेस, एक तो अच्छा काम कर ले. Nunes has blasted it into the net. What a penalty. I think this is the most brave attempted by exactly. एक पल के लिए भैया जी मैंने सोचा कि क्राउड पे चला गया. That is ऐसा लग रहा था न्यूनेस ने गुस्से से मारा. It's like someone taking all their frustration of their life on the football. No technique or nothing by Matthews Nunes. Very brave. लिसेंड्रो मार्टिनेज ये मिस करेगा, ये तो मिस करेगा, पता नहीं क्यों पर मुझे लग रहा है ये तो मिस करेगा. व्हाट अ पेनल्टी बाय लिसेंड्रो मार्टिनेज. अब नेक्स्ट टाइम से मैं बोलूंगा ये मिस नहीं करेगा. मे बी देन आई कैन जिंक्स इट. This is again a very good penalty. He has hit the side net. This is a very good penalty by Lisandro Martinez. This is never ending. Ruben Diaz. You can just sense the nervousness from Ruben Diaz. JSK says, fucking just end it. अभी डियाज में एंड कर लेगा. No, Diaz doesn't end. He sat down on Anna and scored. Exactly, JSK. After a time, I think after 5 takers, it just keeps getting boring. It just keeps after 5 takers. If the penalty shootout is not decided, it's almost like toss a coin and end it. We don't care. This is just getting too much. Now Johnny Evans, इसको जिंक्स करते. ये ससुरा नहीं मारेगा. सॉरी ये मारेगा. ये पक्का मारेगा. जॉनी इवेंट्स मारेगा. लेट अस जिंक्स हिम. जॉनी इवेंट्स तो मारेगा. लिख लिख के देता हूं. जॉनी इवेंट्स मारेगा. एंड इज मिस्ड इट. He missed it. My Lord Events. My jinx has worked. My jinx has worked. Johnny Evans missed it. Woo! Johnny Evans missed it. My jinx has worked. ये मारेगा, ये मारेगा. But I know we also have to score now. I know. Akanji, what do you guys think, Akanji? लॉर्ड डिवेंस अकेंजी. अभी इसको नहीं मारेगा कैंजी. ऑपोजिट जिंक्स फॉर अकेंजी. नहीं मारेगा. एंड मान लिया. यस. नेक्स्ट टाइम विल सिट इज पेनल्टी शूटआउट्स. आई विल सिट हियर एंड जिंक्स. सिर्फ जिंक्स करूंगा. किया. डन एंड डस्टेड. मैनचेस्टर हमेशा ब्लू ही रहेगा. कहीं पे भी खेलो. वेम्बली पे, यूएसए पे, रोम पे, मैनचेस्टर विल ऑलवेज बी ब्लू. व्हाट अ विन. गुड मैच. ये डल मैच तो नहीं था. नॉट अ डल मैच एट ऑल. वेरी गुड विन. थैंक यू जॉनी इवेंट्स. और JSK says just hope community shield jinx don't work it. That is the thing, JSK. That is the thing. That is the only thing I'm worried about. 2019 Liverpool on the bench, but this club is there to break jinxes. This club is there to destroy stereotypes. This club is there to create history, break all of the old stereotypes. This club, ये club high trend set करने के लिए. This club is a trend setter, and I think I hope we end the community shield jinx. That's the only thing. Let us at least try. But we begin our season with the trophy. Who knows? The season could be anything with all of the trophies counted. So the community shield trophy might also be there. Important to, for example, count it against Barcelona, 6 trophies or whatever. So anything can happen in this season. But one thing, this win sends a message to the rest of the Premier League that Sher abhi bhi bhuka hai. The lion is still very hungry. The lion is not satisfied. Or Sher dahad ke aa raha hai. Chelsea is a first target. Chelsea on the Sunday for the curtain riser in the Premier League for us. The curtain riser for us. Sher jag gaya hai. Sher garaj ke aa raha hai. That is what is the message we have sent. The lion is ferociously roaring. Very good match, I would say. Bayaji says, yeah, this jinx is so powerful. Tried and tested one. We need a special personality, Bayaji, to break the jinx. Just like Yaya Toure broke the community shield jinx. Why not probably just invite... Why not just invite Yaya Toure? Before the first match, maybe I think he will break this jinx as well. Bayaji says, for City it was just a shield. For them it was to save Ten Hag's job. Exactly, because now we do not actually know. Because the transfer window is still open. And all of United's executives, Omar Barada, who went from us and all, were looking. So Yeah, it is Ten Hag's job on the line. Lot of their fan base is actually divided whether Ten Hag has to be in the job or not. So there's a lot of things. You're right. For them, it was just an FA Cup. I mean, for us, it was just an FA Cup. For them, it was a Ten Hag's job when they won the FA Cup as well. So, but anyway, the one player I would say, I mean, the two players I would say I'm impressed by is Oscar Bob and Savinho, and both of them just combined superbly, and kudos to Akanji that is just blasted it straight. He knew that Onana would just fall onto one side, but yeah, instead of picking sides, Akanji just blasted it straight. But Savinho and Oscar, both of them just impressed me so much. I think just based on pure merit and performance, Bernardo Silva was of course very good. I think just based on pure merit and performance, I think Savio on the left, Oscar Bob on the right. And then you play a midfield of I don't know if Rodri is match back for the Chelsea game. Maybe he's not. I don't know. But you play a midfield of if Rodri is back, you play a midfield of Rodri, Bernardo Silva, KDB. But the question is where do you play Phil Foden? Plenty of thought to ponder over for Pep Guardiola. How do you fit Phil Ford and Kevin De Bruyne, Savinho and Oscar Bob in the same team? What do you do with Jeremy Doku? Grealish का तो और ही छोड़ दो. Grealish का तो now after this match the wingers position are Oscar Bob, Savinho and Bernardo Silva, Jeremy Doku, and then it's Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is the last in the pecking order there. I mean, when Matthews Nunes might as well be ahead of on the wing, might be ahead of Jack Grealish as well. How do you fit in Phil Foden into that midfield now that we have got traditional wingers? That is a big question mark. Interesting to see what Pep does it because Foden last season he saved Pep's ass. Everton 1-0 down. Saved us, scored a fantastic goal from outside the box. Brentford 1-0 down, saved us. I mean, it was at least 4 or 5 times that United 1-0 down. Phil Foden, I think, scored 2 goals and saved us one beauty from outside the box. Phil Foden तो बनता है कि सारे सारे मिनट्स के लिए Phil Foden he plays as many minutes as possible, so not possible to drop him. Kevin De Bruyne looks much more sharper and hungrier than ever before. So what do you do with him? What do you do with Kovacic, who's had a wonderful preseason, who's had a very good game here as well? Lot of questions for City. Lot of questions. Thought I would see Sakapore, but no. Kyle Walker just fit straight back and it's just interesting how Pep Guardiola goes on and picks the team. Anyway, guys, a great match. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fun more than anything else because a lot of the times when we are watching City play, it's more tense and kind of that. But we all had a lot of fun. Both Mazayas, especially during the penalty shootout. It was great fun today. Great fun. Thanks a lot of that. Thanks to all of you guys. Thanks to Bayaji, JSK, Kandinya and Arush as well for joining me in this on, on this show. And see you all again for the game against Chelsea. And if possible, I'll also do a show just show about our kind of a curtain riser to the Premier League season, just discussing our potential threats, what should be our lineup, those sort of things. So thank you all guys and take care and have a great weekend.